Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, back with Automation, the car company Tycoon game, and what you're seeing right now is one of my latest builds called the JMC Eurotas. This hypercar is a remastered and redesigned version of my very first car made back in the key engine days of automation. The design of this car is based on the McLaren MP4 12C with the body, lights, and accents, with a side of the Koenigsegg 1-to-1 with the side vents and model name placement. While it's a fast car, there will be a major problem coming into BeamNG, which is the brakes. That's because I'm going to purposely remove them for the sake of this video by doing some file editing. Anyways, I'll explain the details of this car throughout this portion of the video. It has a lap time of 1 minute, 8 seconds, 42 milliseconds at the quote-unquote Top Gear test track and 1 minute, 53 seconds, 77 milliseconds at the automation track. It has a top speed of 252 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds flat. This vehicle is powered by a pimped out 5.7 liter V8 engine that produces 1,046 horsepower and 829.9 pounds-feet of torque. It has a fuel efficiency rating of 19.3 miles per gallon and weighs 3,566.6 pounds or 1,617.8 kilograms. And for the market, it's a great competitor in the hyper and supercar market, but it falls apart for the muscle premium and track premium markets. And just to throw this out, be sure to join my Discord server, TRIZE Central. Starting November 1st, I'll be hosting my first Automation Creator Challenge on my channel. I will provide further details about the future challenge along with the rules, due dates, and where to submit your car on my server. The link to join is in the description or the QR code on your screen. So with the specs of the Eurotas and everything, the panel material will be made out of carbon fiber with a monocoque chassis also made out of carbon fiber. With a mid-longitudinal engine placement, and the front suspension uses a double wishbone, and the rear suspension uses a push-rod suspension setup. For the engine, it's a V90 V8 engine made out of magnesium with the bore set to 99.3 millimeters and the stroke at exactly 92 millimeters to get the engine size to exactly 5.7 liters or 5,700 cc's. With dual overhead cam 4 valves made out of aluminum silicone with VVL or variable valve lift. It's pretty rare for these types of builds. So for the crank cowl rods and pistons, all that good stuff, we're going to be using a billet steel flat plane crankshaft with lightweight titanium cowl rods and regular forged pistons with the quality at a +5 because of over rev issues. For the compression, it is set at a normal 9.3:1 ratio with the cam profile set to a 66 and the VVL profile set to an 83 with VVT at all cams. So for the turbocharge and everything, of course, ball bearings because the best one out of all of them. If you want to do journal bearing, then expect some turbo lag like this. And not only that, it supports the hypercar market more with journal? Okay then, I don't know why. Probably less wheel spin or something? Alright, so enough of that. We got the intercore set to 1,570 horsepower, with the compressor set at a healthy number of 69.5 millimeters. It's a really nice number here, ladies and gentlemen. With the turbine set to exactly 66 millimeters, the air ratio set fairly high to a 1.07, and the max boost at exactly 22 psi. For the fuel system, we're using a direct injection throttle per cylinder performance intake running on super fuel, with the fuel mixture set to a 13.0, the ignition timing set to a 64, and the RPM limit set to 8,000 RPM. And last but not least, with the exhaust and everything, so we got ourselves some short cast headers thanks to being turbocharged with dual exhaust with bypass valves, and the exhaust diameter is set to 108 millimeters, which that equals to 4.25 inches, with a high flow 3-way catalytic converter and 2 straight through mufflers to improve performance and to make it very loud. And speaking of loud, let's get to hear what this engine sounds like right now. Let's do this briefly. Not too bad, but I'm not much of a flat plane builder, but Seems doable. So for the rest of the car with the drivetrain and everything, we're using an all-wheel drive setup with a dual clutch 7-speed with the top speed set to 253.2 miles per hour. Spacing's kept as is, electric LSD with the power distribution set to 60% in the rear and 40% in the front to really compensate the wheel spin and to pretty much make this car drive straight and everything. So with the tires and all that good stuff, so the tires, we're running on some radial semi-slicks with the front tire width set to 255 millimeters and the rear is at a 305 millimeters, running on some 20-inch magnesium rims. So with the brakes and everything, let's just ignore this. Well, we could not really ignore this. So carbon ceramic 2 pistons front and back, 360 millimeters. This will go away in BeamNG. Same thing for the rear. This will technically go away, which its size set is at 330 millimeters with the pad type at a non-existent 70. So with BeamNG, you'll still see the brakes, but they'll be inoperable in BeamNG.drive, which I'll show you that once I get in the game, which will be just about a minute. So under tray, all the good stuff. No under trays we see here, but I do have one. It's a downforce type under tray with the downforce setting set to a 25 with an active wing, as you can see with this wannabe Bugatti Veyron type of like pop-up spoiler right here, which that is my replacement or my so-called active wing. And brake airflow jumped up to a fair amount to a 30. So for the interior, as we can see here, we got no interior whatsoever, but pretending we do got one. It's a 2-seater with a handmade interior and a luxury HUD system. So with the safety and everything, we got ourselves an electric variable power steering with electronic stability control and launch control with standard 2010s safety standards. And lastly, with the suspension and everything, like every freaking supercar build, we got ourselves some active sport springs with semi-active dampers and passive sway bars running on a sports preset. Despite only a small hand of problems on here, such as dampers being too hard, front brake force being too high, semi-stuck tires, rear tire profile, and minor wheel spin issues, let's go to BeamNG.drive and test this non-braking vehicle out. So here we are at the outskirts of the ETK Driving Center, and what you're seeing right now is the Hirochi SBR, is because, as you can see here with the little UI right here, is we got 4 brakes in this vehicle, 2 front disc brakes in the front, and the other 2 in the back. And as I can demonstrate here, by just hitting the gas pedal, go to like whatever, like 80, 90 miles an hour. So get ready to hit the brakes because these brakes work, of course. So hit the brakes now. 90 miles an hour, they are heating up. They are stopping the vehicle as so. And as I tab over to the Eurotoss, you can see the UI, it's gone. It is completely gone. No brakes exist on here, but we can see here, we got the rear brakes right here. Same thing for the front right here. So the brakes are on the car. If I go to the parts menu here, we can see that the brakes, they do not exist. All we got is the front and rear wheels, spindles, sway bars, coilovers, and that's it. So let me demonstrate by turning the car on and just hit the brakes. So accelerate a little bit and brake. See, brake testing. We're just coasting right now. We're just going to keep coasting as I hit the brakes. So let's just slow down by slamming into the SBR like so. Look at slamming into him. I'm still going. And now I come to a stop and goddamn, brake test didn't even stop. And I can't get out of reverse. I can't get out of reverse. At arcade mode, I can't. And for the cherry on top, as I go backwards into the parking brake doesn't work. So the brakes are completely ineffective, including the parking brake. So this will be a real challenge when it comes to stopping this vehicle and doing our time trial runs and a very, very brief basic performance test. So for our super duper brief and condensed basic performance test, since this vehicle is incapable of braking, we're going to be doing the 0 to 62 acceleration test and a top speed run right on top of that. I highly doubt this would reach its top speed because it's not a huge map. This is more just testing a vehicle, and that's pretty much it. So 0 to 60 on top of the top speed run will commence right now. So accelerate as I go. Speed test underway. 0 to 62, technically 63 in 2.54 seconds of 112.06 feet. Going around this bend here. Again, I cannot brake. 170 miles an hour. I was distracted, and that is it. No, let's hop the barriers and then we'll crash it somewhere else. Hop the barriers. I'm not even done yet. All right, hop the barriers. Go. Whatever. I'm in the abyss. 170-ish miles an hour. Definitely did not reach the top speed as I expected. And we are in the abyss. That tires is going to go wherever it's going. Main engine broken because we can see here, we got no revs, no engine sound, none of that. And we do get a brake test here of 136 miles an hour to 0 in 12.53 seconds of 1,097.50 feet. That seems okay, even though the car was in shambles, but it's doable. right? So the damage of the vehicle, as I am in the abyss right now, we get a good peek at this engine right here with the spoiler completely removed. We got, what was it, 2 or 3 tires missing? You got 3 tires missing out of the 4. This has got a flat, that's missing, and of course, these 2 are also missing. So damage-wise, it held up, but you got the tires missing and everything, but ooh, front looks pretty pristine-ish. I mean, wow, the front looks pretty clean, but the back end, not so much. Well, enough of that. Let's find a time trial run. Let's do a couple of them. So the first time trial we're going to be doing is we're going to go to the map of Italy at the highway map in the noon hours with this here vehicle. The first one will be at Italy, and the second one, we're going to go to frickin' Bathurst at Mount Panorama, do a couple laps at that map, which I'll come later on in the video. So take you to Italy with this here non-breakable vehicle right now. So I finally loaded into the start and finish line up in here, so we're just about behind the start and finish line, and why is my car thrusting back and forth up in here? I'm guessing the car is trying to like stay centered up in here and the car can't brake or something? What would it be like if I start off the time trial here in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so it didn't take off at the start and finish line as I hit the accelerator despite being held back. So, first corner. Take it real easy. We're just gonna... Okay, I got plenty of, breathing room in terms of turning because we got... Oh, what are my Geforces? Like 1.3 in that corner? I mean, that's not too bad. But right here, we might have to, well, use the wall. Use the wall at ECS to save my goddamn life. ECS, help me. Oh, no. Yep, this is going to be the time trial here, folks. Bash the wall to slow this bad boy down. That's all it's going to work in. Holy echo. And impact detected. Stop. Not here. Come on, not here, folks. Jesus, radiator leaking. Try this again. All right, here comes that hairpin again. Make this basic left-hand corner. Oh, come on, for God's sake. Well... tire deflated, I don't care. Let's just finish this right. Let's just finish this as it is. I mean, we got a minor flat tire, no auto steering to the left or right, like any, steering misalignments from slamming in that wall, but we're doing okay. 150 miles an hour in that corner at around 1.2 Gs of steering up in here. And we got this corner. Okay, so no e-brake, no brakes. We're just gonna, I might as well just Jake brake, huh? Neutral? Or... do that. Let's just manually downshift to engine brake and slow down. So this corner is going to be a little bit concerning. 160 miles an hour. Downforce, can you save my life? Gonna sway a little bit. Oh, Jesus. Impact on a car. We're on a home stretch. I don't care. Reverse all the way there. And do that. Okay. So a time we're going to get is a 1 minute, 26 seconds, 402 milliseconds as I get into third place, right behind first place by 13 seconds. So what is it going to be like crashing these trees? Because if I go to free roam, then it's going to go fast mo and pretty much ruin this crash. So through the trees, completely through them? Technically... That is interesting. So we hit the building up in here. So third place, go to free roam, see the aftermath of destruction. So we're upside down-ish. Engine is starved of oil. Save the engine by getting this boy upright as so. Shut the engine off because we're going to be coasting forward. So let's find some flat land. Let's go back to where I crashed at. Let's go over here. Screw this. That is my spoiler. My whole spoiler, this whole piece is right here, and why are these glowing red? Is this because of a mod enabled, or BeamNG did this for, like, refueling your car? So anyways, considerable amount of damage for the sides, good amount on the rear, some loose polygons just bending out and stuff like that. A little bit right there, and a little bit in the front. So like I said, second time trial, 2 laps at frickin' Bathurst of Mount Panorama, straight from Australia. So we'll take it to the map and do a hot lap feature of the 2-lap race because there's no time trial for this map, unfortunately. So take it there right now. So here I am parked way behind the frickin' start and finish line at the last grid space at Mount Panorama in Bathurst, Australia. So as you can see here, lap 1 is going off, which you could rightfully ignore that as I cross the start and finish line here again to count the second and third lap, which will be the first and second lap of this here race. So hopefully I will get just 1 lap here in one piece with this vehicle being not able to brake. So let's get ready to slam on the gas pedal and not hit the brake once. Well, you can hit the brakes, but it just won't work whatsoever. So gonna get rev it a little bit and go. Drive right now, make through this left-hand corner at around 50-something miles an hour, and boy, this is gonna be a sketchy one to drive this here vehicle. So let's just not accelerate right now. Gonna go to reverse, take some necessary measures, and we're gonna crash into the tire barrier. Hard into the goddamn tire barrier, and impact detected, stopping car. Just let me go, for Christ's sake. Well, one piece was not even achieved, slamming the goddamn tire barrier, and holy right tire. We are like hardcore auto steering to the right as we busted out the car for the second and third time as I hit that tire barrier and now that wall. Well, first lap time will probably be around like the 2, maybe 3 minute mark as I carefully drive this car. So this corner, just coast. Look at this. Look at this. Just coast right here as I just turn right and let the car just coast because of the aerodynamics and drag of this vehicle. And I'm going to just manually do this again. So go to third gear and let's see. Wait till we get to second gear to engine brake just a tad. I wish engine braking was a little more serious here with this vehicle. Like you could really slow down as soon as you downshift. I'm serious. I've been averaging around a speed of what? Holy blind corner. Well, that's something we gotta watch out for, is that blind corner right there as I ping-pong my ass between those walls. And doing that... Did I for real restored by steering? Oh boy. Brake. Damn, I am tearing up this car big time, but at least with this carbon fiber chassis, this is holding up surprisingly well. And we got a straightaway. Okay, let's forward a little bit. Go to... Let's probably do... Okay, stop there. And I want to get out of manual mode. I want to get into reverse gear because we got a turn up ahead. I don't know how sharp this corner is, so it's going to be a sweeping corner. Not too bad. So that's sweeping corner, and I know this sweeping corner up here, so gonna go in the grass. Gonna corner cut. I don't care. I'm gonna corner cut real hard. Really hard to the point where FIA will just basically chop our heads off doing that. And this here, final stretch in this final corner as we get through the grid spaces right now, and then left turn. Okay, pretty decent. So our quote-unquote first lap time, we're going to stop accelerating now because what's unfortunate, we can't even downshift to reverse or park or that, and we're going to smash the first corner again. Real hard the first corner, and there goes the tire. First lap time, I forgot to mention that, in 2 minutes, 56 seconds, 296 milliseconds. And that tire is just going to keep rolling as so, and we can barely drive this vehicle as we're nearly terminally disabled up in here. I think 1 lap is probably good enough, you think? All because of my screw up hitting that damn barrier yet again in the first corner. I cannot even go past 60 miles an hour as my car dips down, dips back up, and just swerves all over the place. See that? I just can't get this car to go straight anymore because we are missing a tire. Oh, as you can see, as you've seen earlier. Alright, how about this blind corner yet again? So, I call it a kind of a pass. Going through the curb, a little bit off the track limits. So hitting the curb, going off track limits, and slamming the wall. Call that a partial success. And coming into the final straightaway, we are going to get an abysmal time of a 4 minutes, 27 seconds, 402 milliseconds. About 2.5 times worse compared to the first one. Thank God the car has crashed out with the radiator leaking up in here. As you can see the smoke right here. I'm now unable to downshift. Are you kidding me? No, I cannot upshift. Downshift? Is my controller messed up? No, my controller is okay. I can steer. This is bizarre, man. The car is sentient and it's just driving on its own. So, yeah, that is hella weird. So for the last part of the video, let's drive this down off a ramp into a wedge pillar at, you guess what, Brutal Slope 2.0 to end this car's misery once and for all. So here we are at the top of the ramp of Brutal Slope, so let's just skateboard ourselves down, get out of park, because if I haven't been neutral and I hit the brakes, then the car will just roll forward and I'll just like cut part of my intro just introducing the top of the ramp. So we're gonna fly through all the gears and definitely reach our top speed at 264 miles an hour? Jeez, a lot more than what we got in automation. So the bottom of the ramp will be 285 miles an hour, still accelerating. 225 at the top of the ramp off the jump. So engine is starved of oil? What? So let's hit the brakes. Oil starvation? We are in mid-flight up in here. Like, why tell us that, man? All right, set up the camera, hide the UI, 100 times slow. Let's go to 100 times. Go 100 times right now. So here is the left side of the vehicle. Going to be dipping down pretty hard and resetting ourselves. So Loose polygons all over the place. That tire's about to come off. We got that spoiler coming off. We got this thing, whatever it is. Is this part of the rear spoiler or something? The rear axle or something that's coming off, but it can't? I don't know. So let's just go to 16 times slow-mo, follow the car a little bit, and the engine's coming apart. Are you serious? The engine is trying to come apart, so let's go to full time, see what happens. Gonna flip over on our side, back onto our, how many wheels do we got? Back under our one wheel, and there goes all the wheels you would see here. So the car is gonna indefinitely keep on rolling and rolling. So here goes tire, and goodbye other tire. I'll find a third tire. So we got those two tires and this tire just rolling around like so. What if I try to grab it? You're welcome. So with this vehicle, of course, main engine broken because it's inoperable whatsoever. And damage-wise, as we can see here, rear messed up, spoiler again is missing. And for the left side of the vehicle, as you can see here, for the initial impact, it just skewed the spoiler like to the left and to the up. Like it like skewed upwards up in here, including the front, left portion of the vehicle where we got loose polygons over the place. Right side is not too bad, but the worst of it is the left side. Alright, for the last part of the video, let's go to drive and skateboard ourselves down pretty slowly to crash ourselves into a little wedge thingy, which is basically a square block where you can get yourselves wedged by crashing your vehicle at a very, very high speed to get an interesting wedge-shaped look of your vehicle. So again, top speed beyond 270 miles an hour, approaching 280 right now, and the top speed we're going to reach is 284, possibly 285 upon collision. So again, drop the camera down around here, reset the FOV just a tad, high DUI, so 16 times to 100, and we're gonna move ourselves in quite a bit, so you do it right here, get the wall out of the way, so impact right now, get that look at the holy drive shaft, it's gonna shank through the entire wall, and here we go, got a little triangular wedge-shaped look of the vehicle right here. That tire is gonna definitely spin until we hit the dirt below, the gravel below, and spoiler is gonna go freebird, so full time. And the drivetrain just yeeted back and yeeted forward somehow, and the tire is going to definitely spin. So let's drop ourselves down to the bottom to get the aftermath destruction of the vehicle by looking at it. So first of all, the back, loose polygons, this is poking out pretty good up in here, and that is too. And that tire is going to definitely spin if I hit the gas, e-brake, none of that would work whatsoever. And oh, F-wording, expletive, demonetize me boy. The entire, roof is pretty much just completely collapsed. So we got the front of the vehicle barely recognizable, but the sides, you can see how it's been smooshed in and just crinkled, just bent this thing like it's, what? A piece of steel or something, a piece of paper, like it's been crumbled up or something. So that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive with the JMC Eurotas. Well, with this vehicle, you have pretty much one option to slow this vehicle down. Well, technically two. By coasting the vehicle by just barely hitting the gas pedal and just let it go. Or B, just stuntman it and just neutral drop, reverse drop, or put it in park to make it slow down. Like if you were to build a vehicle with no brakes, just leave it up to the soapbox cars, not for a 1,000 horsepower vehicle like this. Just stay away from doing this type of experiment, folks. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future. And also check out my social media down in the description below. So this is TRIZE rising up and signing out.